Good morning. Welcome. Noswaga morning review. Morning. Noswaga review. Let's do it. We already did this, but something fucked up. We're gonna skip forward to Protoss playing because there was something cool that has happened with the Protoss playing. So here we go. Replay stats. Where's that? This is the thing that is cool. I played, I think, 100 games of Protoss when I first started, and when I came back, I just immediately got like 200 more MMR. Now, admittedly, I was like doing a little bit of a more aggressive and like all-in-y sort of thing. It's like a 4-gate stalker, like really early attack that fucks people up. But what's cool about it is that like the game, having started with a bunch of games of Protoss, having not played at all, and then playing a lot of Zerg and like actually starting to get a feel for the game, and then coming back to Protoss, it's like a completely different game. Like, I guess you don't really feel like or recognize how much you're improving because you're always winning and losing the same amount, right? So you just feel like, I don't know, it's just a number that's getting up there. But I can really see that I understand the game a lot more now when I play against people. And my Protoss account was in Gold 3. And Gold 3, I see why people like kind of, you know, they have their things to say about the metal leagues, because people just don't know what they're doing at all. Like, yeah, I have like an aggressive build and it definitely hits pretty hard, and that's, you know, that's going to account for some wins for sure. But like, I think I lost like 3 games, and I don't think I executed my build properly in any of those. I probably haven't executed my build properly in any of them at all, actually, because I don't really know how to play Protoss. But the point is, it's actually really cool to see that like the game is not what it was when I started playing at all. I think, yeah, it gets masked by just the adjustment of MMR, but I can really see like where efficiency comes in, and even in learning to execute this build, like I'm starting to see why the build works and where the gaps are and how to make sure you fix little things. Like before, I would do a build and I would show it to it's not in the circle. I would do a build and I would show replay to Browntown, and he'd be like, well, you're fucking up this and this and this. And it's like, oh, I didn't even notice that. But now I think I'm better at sort of seeing like where these sort of little moments are and how you get everything really stacked back to back so that you're really getting everything out right at the second that you need it to. I still haven't really nailed it. I'm sure that I'm still making mistakes and everything. But the point is, I really can see the improvement now in going back to where I started, which is super cool. I also do think that I'm feeling right now that the all-in strategy is a really good way to learn because of the short game thing. I think I've talked about this a lot, but it is pretty big. Although that being said, having started with the vibe thing was also probably a very good idea because it got me macroing and it got me like trying to manage economy and like a lot of bases and stuff, and that's all pretty important. But I think really just where it lacks specifically is that it's not teaching you to like really optimize. It's teaching you how to think about the game in general. So they're both pretty important, different aspects that you need to focus on, I suppose. But generally speaking, I think this is going to be pretty valuable in a few ways. Because one is like, yeah, okay, there's a comparison to where I was. But there's also, in getting to play in different ranks, I can sort of see what the mistakes are and why certain things work and why certain things don't. And then maybe having seen that from a few different levels, maybe I'll be even lower when I go in Terran, I don't know. I can kind of extrapolate upwards as to like, if this is what gold looks like to me, being like plat diamond, then what does plat diamond look like to masters? I don't know. It might be that I understand the game enough that I could kind of make that call now. But I think it's going to be pretty valuable. I really think this idea of like rounding out the knowledge base a little bit, learning more races, trying new things is pretty huge. To the point that like maybe even just for the next season, I just need to like sit back and not even think about the MMR and just get a lot of different experiences and stuff. But that's thinking pretty far ahead. I think right now it's just going to be like, play the Protoss, get some builds, play the Terran, get some builds, blah, blah, blah. Still probably stay pretty chill until next season, and then we'll see what we do. I don't know if there's a break between seasons or not. Anyway, in other news, I played a bunch of campaign, and it's pretty fucking fun. The Protoss are very cool, and I actually think the campaign is also a really good experience because it gets you it's kind of like a good like micro thing, right? Because you get all these weird restrictions and only certain units you can use. And I've been trying to do all of the achievements at the same time. So I do every mission a few times with like and kind of figure out like some of the achievements, especially the 10th anniversary ones, can get pretty precise, and like you can't just sit back and like, you know, be a like kind of cheese the achievement and just overdo it, right? Like sometimes it'll be like, oh, you got to finish everything in this amount of time, and it's actually pretty tight. So you got to start getting like small armies out in different places and kind of figuring out when is the attack point, like how, when are you waiting too long and when are you going too soon, and like how do you want to split up your units and stuff. Obviously it's going to be a lot different in a real game scenario, but it's pretty helpful. All right, so that's gonna be on it for me. We're gonna keep going. It's gonna be more of a chill week. It's not gonna be a lot of like big ladder stuff for a while, so we'll just enjoy that. All right, thanks for coming. See you later. Oh, no break between seasons. Word. I do think though that I need to fit this. Wait. This is important. This is more important than me talking right now. Yeah. It's too small still. Anyway, maybe the next season is really just not about multitasking. Not about ranks anymore, because it just seems like it's just a lot of information to get, you know? Maybe I'll get to like diamond with the other races and see how that goes. Oh, I'm gonna stop this recording.